Hi, welcome back to Snack Gladiator. It's good to have you around. I've been waiting for you. Where have you been? Anyway, today I have a classic Gladiator style video for you in which I pit two products against each other. In one corner, we have Mallomars, and on the other corner, we have Whippets. So these are both chocolate covered cookies, biscuits, if you will. And I thought it'd be perfect. I've been eating Mallomars for years, since I was a kid. I more recently tried Whippets, so I decided, hey, why not do a video and see who comes out on top? So spoiler alert, I like both of them. They're delicious. I wouldn't mind eating either one, but let's see if one of them kind of, beats out the other. We'll find out. And for the sake of this video, I went ahead and did some pretty thorough research here for you guys. Look at that. That's like a college research paper. The effort that goes into these videos is remarkable. So to start off with, I'll pick up the Mallomars over here. These were introduced in 1913, so these are the original. At least they've been around longer than the Whippet. And they're available from October through April. And they're a little bit harder to find than Whippets for sure, at least around here. I had picked up a box and I ended up eating part of my own supply. And for the sake of these videos, I like to have a sealed box, just so I can get the product as fresh as possible and kind of show you guys what the product looks like outside the box. And I ended up eating a few Mallomars thinking, okay, no big deal. I'll go down to this, my local Stop and Shop and pick up another box, next week to film the video. Well, that was a mistake. I should have eaten the Whippets instead because I couldn't find any Mallomars for about 3 weeks. And I finally found some at Market Basket. But for the life of me, I don't know why, because they're supposed to be available until April. But my local Stop and Shop is not carrying Mallomars at all. And they just seem to be a little bit harder to get your hands on. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And I read online, apparently people stockpile Mallomars in some parts of the country just so they can eat them year round. What else? 85% of Mallomars are sold in the New York metropolitan area, and they are produced in Canada, as are Whippets. So interestingly though, I believe the Mallomars are primarily only available in the US, but they're produced in Canada. So that is kind of interesting. And next we have the Whippets over here. These come in 12 varieties, although here in the US, I've only seen this one, the original, which is just with the marshmallow fluff and the raspberry flavor. I've not tried the raspberry flavored. I remember growing up, there were these raspberry flavored marshmallow cookies called Dream Puffs or something like that. But they don't make them anymore, and I can't really find any information about them. So if anybody remembers eating Dream Puffs or something to that effect, let me know in the comments, because I'd be curious. Because I do remember they were pretty good. They had the little raspberry filling. So maybe those are just like rebranded Whippets or something. Is there anything else I want to mention? The first variety of Whippet was released in 1901, but the current version was released in 1927. So I guess you could say the Whippets, in theory, are a little bit older. They've been around longer, but the current formulation came out 14 years after Mallomar. So I guess maybe I was wrong about what I had mentioned earlier. I guess Whippets are the original, depending on how you want to look at it. But regardless, they're both basically chocolate-coated marshmallow treats is the technical name for them. And these are both two of the most popular kinds. So anyway, enough chit-chat. Without further ado, let's go ahead and open the boxes and I'll show you what the presentation looks like. So for starters, we're gonna open the Whippets made by Dare. Again, this one's also made in Canada and comes in this nice, brown box. So looks pretty nice. Nice little presentation. You got a close-up of all what the Whippet looks like. Look at all that marshmallow fluff. And that seems to be a big thing. The Whippets definitely, they emphasize the marshmallow part of it quite a bit. So let's go ahead and open it. See, it's a sealed box. I didn't eat the supply this time. And there we go. So you get a total of 14 Whippets. And I need to check the price. I wrote that down too. I mean, the level of research that I did is incredible. Absolutely unbelievable. So with the Whippets, you have 14 in a box, and they came out to, I believe, $3.99. And the Mallomars, you have 18 cookies, but they came out to $4.99. So I think the cost per unit is slightly less on the Whippets. So let's go ahead and open up the pack here. It comes in this clear cellophane wrap. Hopefully I don't drop them. That would not be good. And immediately when I open it, I'm greeted by the scent of chocolate for sure. Smells quite good. Smells quite good. Let me go ahead and hold one up close to the camera here so you guys can see. This is in fact a genuine Whippet. It's got like this dark brown color, covered all the way around. So it's just enrobed in the chocolate. I think that's the industry term. It passes through a chocolate enrober or enrobing machine. Really cool, really cool. Let's go ahead and open up the Mallomars. All right, here we go. Sealed box once more. And here we go. So again, 18. And let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, so this is what the Mallomars look like here. Let's go ahead and hold one up. And that is a genuine Mallomar product. There we go. Same thing. Appearance-wise, I'm gonna go ahead and hold them side by side. So taking a look at them, I have the Whippet on one hand, and here I have the Mallomar. If we're looking at the underside of them, the Mallomar is pretty much completely smooth on the bottom, whereas the Whippets have kind of this, sort of almost looks like a little splattering of chocolate on the bottom. But otherwise, appearance, they're pretty much the same. I'd say color is almost identical. However, as far as the height, there's definitely a difference here. So I'm not sure if you can pick that up, but the Mallomar is significantly shorter than the Whippet. The Whippet is taller, and both of them, the cookie is a similar height, but I think the Whippet has a slightly bigger cookie and a slightly, definitely more on the marshmallow. So you get this big dome of marshmallow on top. Whereas the Mallomars, slightly more marshmallow than cookie, but it's a little bit closer, that ratio of marshmallow to cookie. So as far as nutrition facts go, that's the last thing I'll cover before taking a bite. Let's see, we have Mallomars come in at 120 calories for 2 cookies, whereas Whippets are 140 calories for 2 cookies. The Mallomars have 2.5 grams or 13% of your daily saturated fat. The Whippets, 3.5 grams or 18% of your saturated fat. 11 grams of total sugars for the Mallomars, 17 grams for the Whippets. All right, let's go ahead and throw that aside. And let's start with the Whippet. I'll take a bite, kind of show you the cross section, and then I'll go ahead and do the same thing with the Mallomar. We'll go ahead, take our time, let the palate do its thing, cover all 9,000 taste buds, and see who wins. All right, Whippet going in. Let's try it. Okay, so first thoughts on the Whippet. Definitely get a little bit of chocolate in there. The mouthfeel of it, it's very kind of light, fluffy, a little bit airy. This is what it looks like in cross section. You can see there's quite a bit of marshmallow in there and a fair amount of cookie. So I'd say it's maybe a third cookie, 2/3 marshmallow. So let's go ahead and take one more bite here, and we'll try the Mallomar. So I'll say with the Whippet, the cookie was pretty soft, and you got quite a bit of marshmallow there. So definitely had a pretty light mouthfeel compared to what I remember from Mallomars. But with that said, let's go ahead and try the Mallomar, and we'll go from there. As far as aroma of the Mallomar, I don't think I commented on that. I do think it has a slightly stronger chocolatey smell. They both do, they're pretty prominent, but I think the Mallomars might be slightly more. Anyway, let's go ahead and try that. Mallomar going in. Covering all 9,000 taste buds there. Oh, let me show you the cross section. So here you can see Again, you have more marshmallow than cookie, but the marshmallow dome, if you will, is a little bit shorter on the Mallomar. So, and that does impact the mouthfeel. So they're both light, fluffy, but the Whippet definitely more so. The Mallomar, I think the biscuit has a little bit more, more crispiness to it, a little bit more of a bite to it, if you will. And with that little bit less marshmallow, it comes out to a slightly denser mouthfeel than does the Whippet. And also, I do get a little bit more of a richer chocolate taste with the Mallomars than the Whippet. So let's go ahead and finish off the Mallomar, and then we'll go ahead and crown our winner. Okay, so final thoughts before we crown our winner. Essentially, to recap, the Whippet, they both have that chocolatey note that hits you up front. I think the big difference is the strength of the chocolatey note. The Mallomar had a slightly stronger chocolate taste to it than did the Whippet. I also feel like the chocolate shells may be a little bit thicker on the Mallomar. And the biggest difference would be the mouthfeel. Again, the Whippet has kind of that light, fluffy, airy type of a marshmallow texture. So the marshmallow is more front and forward. Whereas with the Mallomar, I feel like the marshmallow and the cookie are a little bit more balanced. So they kind of, the cookie plays a bigger role in the mouthfeel. And I think that's because the cookie's a little bit denser in the Mallomar and you get less marshmallow on top. And now it's time to crown our winner. The winner of the chocolate-covered marshmallow treat battle here on Snack Gladiator is Mallomars. That's right. I mean, I may be biased just because I grew up eating Mallomars and I only recently started eating Whippets. But I think, again, the richer chocolatey taste and kind of that balance of cookie and marshmallow, just kind of, just something a little bit more satisfying about eating a Mallomar than a Whippet. That said, if someone offers me a box of Whippet, or even if I see them on sale and there are no Mallomars around, I would certainly pick up a box of Whippet, maybe even just to change things up, because they are still very enjoyable. I just find that heavier bite and that slightly denser texture of the Mallomar to be a little bit more satisfying, coupled with the slightly stronger chocolatey taste. I definitely want to try the raspberry covered Whippets. I've bought the original ones a few times, but not the raspberry. So I do think Mallomars should probably try maybe a raspberry variety or something of the sort, because my understanding is, as I mentioned, Whippets have 12 different varieties. So I think it would be nice if they tried one with at least raspberry filling. I'm kind of a sucker for anything raspberry flavored. So yeah, there you have it. The winner, Mallomars. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode of Snack Gladiator. Bye. Oh, you hear that crunch? That's a satisfying crunch. All right, I'm gonna go eat actual dinner now because it's almost 8 o'clock and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so bye.